Hi, in today's episode, we have a gorgeous woman. She's an ex-Indian Air Force Wing Commander, Shruti Chauhan. So, the ultimate power trip in life is to be able to fly across the globe. Shruti does that beautifully. Shruti is now a pilot with the Indigo Airlines, and she is what you call Brawn Brain Beauty. She holds the title of being Mrs. India Inc. World Beauty Pageant 2021, where she was adjudged the second runner-up. She now holds a title of Mrs. India Galaxy 2021. So in the earlier days, we had mythological figures of Apsaras with wings, and my grandmother, if I were to tell her today that there are women who fly huge machines, I don't think she would agree. But hell yeah, we have Shruti Chauhan. Also, there's a line that Shruti said to me when we were talking is that to question the common imagination. As women, I think we don't that easily question the common imagination of what we can do, what we can't do, what are the limitations, and what is the unlimiting belief. Welcome, Shruti, on today's podcast. And let's begin a little bit about this entire moment when you decided to start flying.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mawa, firstly, for having me here. And that's a very different and a cute comparison what you did was a flying Apsara. Generally, I've been, compared with something kind of phoenix or an angel or something like that. But, that flying Apsara was very cute, and I would say it was very apt. At least I felt that today right now.
Yes. We used to draw, remember in our Amar Chitra Kathas and all these things,
Yes.
We knew it as mythological figures. I mean, So, yes, tell me.
When I was in school, I participated in NCC, that is National Cadet Corps. In that, when I represented my state, Maharashtra, on a national level for the Republic Day camp, there I realized the power of discipline. In school, yes, we are used to a little bit of discipline, but when I actually donned the uniform of a cadet, that time I realized that discipline can do wonders, and you actually realize your potential if you just follow a few things. And that actually gave imagination to me that I can, be a part of defense forces as well. So, but I wasn't sure of how to go about it. So after I finished my engineering, during engineering as well, I continued my National Cadet Corps training as a senior wing cadet from Army. And while doing the engineering last year, I applied for all the three forces. And then Army, Navy, and Air Force. I got joining instructions from all the three. But, Air Force gave me wings, literally, gave me a chance to fly. To be precise, only 0.02% of the world's population do have the psychomotor skills to become a pilot. And I would say I'm lucky to have those psychomotor skills.
We'd really like you to explain to our listeners what are those skills?
Those skills are basically your hand-eye coordination. The word itself says the psychomotor skills. How does your mind will coordinate with your hands and your actions, your reactions to different things. Something very similar to how do we drive a car. When you know that you have to turn right, you will give a right indicator, right? And nowadays, when you just start the car and when you press the start button, after that you do few checks. Something like, if I've put off the handbrake or not. If I'm driving with the handbrake on, I should know that, that the car will get damaged in some or the other way. So it's a very simple example which I gave of a psychomotor skills. When you are into aviation, the level of psychomotor skills, the hand-eye coordination, the awareness around you needs to be of a very high quality and very high standards, which during the training or in fact, while we gave our SSB, the Services Selection Board, and we have which is called as Pilot Aptitude Battery Test. They put you in a simulator, you have different lights, different motions and everything, and along with it, it's kind of a video game. So when you think about getting into Air Force, you can give that exam only once in life. If you fail that exam, that is just a simulator exam, would you say, you cannot become a pilot again. Or you cannot even try to give that exam again. So it is that level of, I would say, perfection you need. Either you have it or you don't have it. You cannot build it. Point is that.
Are you from an Air Force family, which was natural for you to get into the whole flying thing?
No, absolutely no. My family is a totally civilian family. Now I'm married to a pilot. That's a different thing. But I come from a family of politicians, I would say. Not politicians, but yes, my grandfather was a freedom fighter. And since then, this nationalism was instilled in me, since I was a kid, I used to always hear my grandfather telling us things, how he fought with the Britishers, how we actually got into fist fight with the jailers, how he burned the jailers, how he beated them up, those kind of things. So the nationalism was instilled from the word go. So, and there was, only Air Force gave me a chance to be in defense forces as well as fly. And this was a golden opportunity for me. And, as a society is, now at least people are very open minded. I'm talking about back 20 years when I decided to join Air Force. So that time people told my parents, like, you have one daughter and one son, and your daughter is already going to defense. How do you cope up with that? So, my parents said that, that's her choice. And if she wants to do something absolutely different, we're all for it. That is where my motivation came from, my own family.
It was a support that you had at home, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, my dad wanted to get into defense forces, but my dad, while he was a kid, he was affected by polio. So his left side of the body is not as strong as his right side of the body.
Okay.
So, and when I told my parents that I want to get into defense, they were like all gaga and they were absolutely happy. So I never faced any kind of opposition, something from my family. Yes, there are people around, societies around, relatives are there who always question. But I think that is what actually, keeps you driving.
Did it make you feel a little bad? And, did you ever question this whole, joining decision? Because I'm sure society around us, they always tell you what you want to pursue is wrong. It's just strange. Anything that you want to do, you have more people telling you that what you're doing is wrong and very few really, rooting for you. So how did you cope with that whole thing? Because me as a writer, constantly I'm like bombarded कि क्यों ज़रूरत है आपको ये करने की? Why can't you just chill, And so did it make you feel, ever, did you think that maybe you could have chosen something else?
Frankly speaking, Mahua, I would say no. Because, I had such a strong support system at my home that what people said to me or to my parents, it never mattered. Maybe my parents were bombarded with these kind of questions and society norms and everything, but they were so strong and they had so much belief in me that it never actually came as a hindrance or anything to me. Never, ever.
Which is wonderful.
I would say I'm touchwood really lucky in that aspect, Yeah, and sometimes I feel sad about people that you're not aware of so many things. When I tell people that I'm a pilot, now, yes, I'm with Civil Airlines. That is a different thing. But when I was in Air Force, I would say people I'm a pilot. So they would say, yes, which with airlines? I would say with Indian Air Force. I say like, what? What is that? And I would feel so I was sometimes to go in shock, and people would know about their own country's defense forces.
What are you
something
saying?
called as Indian Air Force.
Wow.
And then people would tell me, oh, why have you chosen that? You are an engineer. You could have chosen this. So many a times I didn't even feel like giving an explanation or explaining people my point of view, because I realized from the word go that they wouldn't understand. And it's not for them to understand.
I have a very pertinent question because, we see very, less number of women who are pilots. That's mostly a male-dominated industry. The air hostesses are women, and you'll find one steward who's a man. And again, I know because I write on gender, I always feel it's so skewed. So tell me absolutely candidly, how difficult has it been to be among men when it came to, the power, the entire power trip, getting your promotions, getting your salary, the whole treatment towards women? Do you think they are sensitive, or do you think it's a struggle?
I see, when I decided to get into Air Force, one of the reasons for me to get into Air Force is like, the profession I'm getting into, frankly, it's a gender neutral profession. The first day of my training, my instructor gave me a golden line. And that said, Beta, you're going to fly a machine. A machine doesn't know that it's been driven by a male or a female. So that should be a motivation enough to excel in whatever you're doing. And that actually stayed with me till date. If you think about it, Mahua, we generalize that, okay, women can't drive. Or men,
I get that all the time.
they shouldn't be cooking. And I want to ask people, or I want to tell people that why have we generalized things? Why? Who has given us this power to generalize? So that exactly what I was told to me by my instructor. Just because we were training, we are 100 cadets, and there were only 8 of us girls. That doesn't mean that you're different.
As a woman, did you face any instance where you felt that no, I am a woman? Because it is a very, very, you have to admit, it's a very male dominated industry, as pilots.
Yeah.
So yeah, so कभी ऐसा कुछ हुआ है जहाँ पे आपको लगा कि I am feeling my gender among your colleagues? I'm not talking about the machine that you're, obviously the machine will
Yeah,
not know.
there were instances where, when while we were training and while we used to have train physical, our activities were on. That time, yes, when I had my colleagues, in fact, my husband is also ex-NDA, I would say ex-NDA as in they've passed out from National Defense Academy. They train 3 years, and they're physically very strong. So when it used to come to those physical activities, yes, I used to sometimes feel that hitch, because I was totally from a civil background. I was doing engineering before I came, and suddenly when you have to shift your roles and you are always on your toes doing physical activities, playing games, competing with each other, that time, yes, I did feel the hitch that that okay, these guys are definitely stronger in this aspect, and that's absolutely okay, because that we all of us know that men are physically stronger.
What about salaries and all? Is there a disparity or is it
No, not at all.
equal,
Not at
right?
all. Not at all. Not at all. In fact, the irony is that if you see the tax saving, the girls will earn more, because we have more tax savings.
Oh,
If you see
lovely.
that way.
Let's three cheers to that.
Yes, yes, yes. In
So,
fact,
flying
so when me and
Apsara?
my husband, we trained together and we got all the promotions and everything together. So, in fact, sometimes our friends used to be like, oh, now, anyways, you guys earn equal and everything. So my husband like, no, 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 I don't equal. She earns more than me.
How
So, that
lovely.
is our like family joke.
So many homes, men get very threatened if the woman is earning more than them. And, there's such a power dynamic that goes completely haywire for so many women. So it's fantastic to know that. So, like, I would like
Yes,
to call
yes.
you my flying Apsara. आप हमें बताएं about the pageant, the beauty pageant. वो कैसे वो bug हुआ? How did you decide to join that and, take that on? Tell me.
There's always, I have this, I would say, this itch in me to do something different from what I'm always doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like when I was in school, I took part in the NCC. I went for the Republic Day parade. When I was doing engineering, everybody was busy coding and doing all these things. In that, along with that, I was part of the fashion show team for the college. For
Okay.
our whole university. So back then, yes, I got few offers from few of the designers and everything. But then my dad told me, it's very difficult at this time to make a living out of it better. So, you have to decide what you want to do. At one hand, you have a dream to become a pilot, and the other hand, you want to do this as well. So, you have to weigh your options right now. So, that is
Mm.
when I decided that, no, right now, I think more important for me it is to focus on my career, which is, I was not uh, thinking seriously about making a career out of pageantry and modeling, but I wanted to become a pilot. So after becoming a pilot, also, there was this thing in me which was like, कि ये करना रह गया है जिंदगी में, ये मुझे करना है.
This is a golden line, Shruti. Please repeat that again for all our listeners.
ये particular जो कुछ चीज है, ये मेरी जिंदगी में करनी रह गई है, ये मैं कर नहीं पाई. But it's not late, It's never late for
It's never
starting anything,
late.
right? Like what
Yes,
right now what we say is like 40s are new 20s.
absolutely.
So that exactly, and I've been lucky to have my friends and juniors. Now, I remember we were going for a concert in Bangalore, and one of my juniors, she got a forward. Do you have it in you to become the next Mrs. India world or next Miss India galaxy? And then she saw the forward and she looked at me, just as a, and then she's like, ma'am, I think aapko ye karna chahiye. And I looked at her and I looked at the ad and I'm like, oh, please, her name is Nikita. It's like, Nikki, please, are you joking? And I'm like, I know that we're in fun mode right now, going for a concert and everything, but I don't think this is okay. So she's like, no, I'm very serious. So, and I just whooshed it away. मैंने मजाक में ऐसी, बात डाल दी. But that girl, she had so much confidence in me. She filled up my form. She filled up the initial fee. And then she's like, man, this is done now. Now, whenever the audition, everything comes, you have to go. So that actually, it struck me, I'm like, oh my God, people around me have so much belief in me. Then why shouldn't I give it a try? So when
Yeah.
all the auditions and everything, they started, then I left no one stone, unturned. Everything possible I tried from my side, training myself, training my work, talking about myself, the speech, the modulations, trying to learn about makeup, new hairstyles, everything. Everything I did, whatever I could under the sun.
How wonderful is that? And tell me, when you went back to work, did anybody like, were you taken more seriously after you joined this? And, people must have been very inspired all around you with, you're getting into the fashion and the beauty business, right?
Yes, people were very, very, very happy, and especially I would say the women around me, they were so motivated and they were so inspired, and after coming back, actually, I didn't realize that, what I was doing was I was telling women around me to keep their dreams alive. Just because believing in myself and doing what I wanted to do, कि ये चीज मेरी करनी रह गई है जिंदगी में, वो मैं अब करूंगी. So something like that, by keeping myself fit, by taking care of my family and my husband supporting me in this, we were actually kind of giving a goal to the other people that they can also do this.
How wonderful!
That you can raise your kid, you can be a profession at the same time you can follow your dreams also.
And your passion. So you have to tell our listeners, what is it that you need to do, to get into the beauty pageantry? What is it that you did? वो थोड़ा सा routine हमें बताओ. I think I'll also follow some of the stuff that you're going to tell me.
See, I'll tell you what.
Please don't tell me drink lots of water and have some fruit and get your sleep. No, we don't want to know that.
Firstly, the very basic thing, it might sound cliche, but the basic thing what you have to do is you have to decide, you have to take a decision that if you want to take this plunge or not. And if you have taken a plunge in that, then you जो मर्जी आए, जो हो सके वो सब कुछ करो. Then फिर वहां से वापस नहीं आना है. It's like, if I've thought about कि अब मैंने कूदना ही है इसमें, तो फिर मैं अच्छे से कूदू ना. तेरे मेरा उल्टा पुल्टा गिर के क्या फायदा है? Then I might as well make a good dive out of it so that people can see that.
मैं आपको एक high five दे रही हूँ. I'm giving you a high five, Shruti, because that's exactly how I feel. I started my career also really late in life, and then there were moments when I questioned myself every day because I'm in the creative business. But when I said that if I have taken the plunge, then so be it. Even if it's going to be a free fall into my death ahead, I am going to go ahead, all on, but I'm not going to give up, So
exactly the point.
Yes,
exactly the point.
Exactly.
Yeah, and when I participated in this pageant, there were ladies, who are influencers and who are already in the beauty industry, who are image consultants and life coaches, and also many people they were around. All of them are stronger than the other one, in terms of personality. But what I realized that that you have to just keep doing your hard work, and you don't have to compare yourself with the other one because you don't know how special you are. The other person might be good, but you don't know your own qualities. Every time you might not be knowing everything about yourself.
So basically, you're coming back to that line that you said that, it's to question the common imagination. ये जो common imagination है हमारा ना कि नहीं, as a woman you can't drive, and as a woman you probably may not be able to do these things. And, today it's so interesting, Shruti, because women are breaking all barriers. मेरे ख्याल से this is the age for women and their uprising. And
exactly.
Don't you think so?
Absolutely bang on what you said.
Yes, it is the
about
age.
to come to this thing. When even in the household normal things, everything like a common imagination that just because घर पे वापस आके खाना बनाना and all those things, it has to start from a very basic concept. No, I'll tell you, very basic concept that if you're staying in a house, if there's a husband and wife, everything has to be shared. I understand that sometimes he might be overworked, sometimes I might be overworked, and we will share the other work or take the load on us. But the stereotypes of like, that, okay, I should be cooking and he should not be cooking, that's absolutely wrong.
Yes, I think in my last podcast, I did talk about the 60s and the 70s and the 80s men. They're becoming relics if they don't change. वो dinosaur वाले age पे चले जाएंगे. Because today the gender dynamics definitely has changed in society, and and it's for me. I mean, I'm loving it because it's amazing to meet men who are so sensitive, to the women around them. Because also, when you have both the genders respecting each other's wishes, dreams, and emotions, I think that paves the path forward for a very healthy society ahead.
Exactly. That is how we are showing the next generation how to coexist.
Absolutely, how to coexist. Exactly, you said it. I agree with you on that.
It is important for us to realize that we can coexist peacefully. And at the same time, both the genders can grow.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you on this. You also do a lot of work with the sex workers and, with the trans community.
Yeah, my mom and my mother-in-law, they're very sensitive for the something regarding social work. So,
Okay.
which again came to me naturally. And when I was in college, I was studying in Mumbai. So that time I used to visit one of my relatives, and then the road used to go from the area where the sex workers used to stay, and the
The red
plight which
light
I
area
saw.
there. Okay.
Yes, yes, the plight which I saw that they were living actually, made me sad. And now, Noah, you would know that now we have the uh, I would say ruling by the court that that a child can use a mother's name, right? Back then, I'm talking about 20 years back. The rule wasn't there, so the kids had to struggle for basic things like getting education and getting admissions in school because they did not have a father's
My
name.
God, how sad is that, Shruti? How sad.
Exactly, exactly. So
Yeah.
I tried to tie up with a few of the NGOs, few of the other social workers to get kids who wanted to study, who wanted to make a living out of them, their life. Just because you are born poor, you don't have to be poor, right? I forgot who said this, but I keep reading. So you have to do something out of your life, and if you're so driven that you have to do something of your life, I would go all out to help people. At
I'm
least
just
I've
like
tried.
you. I'm equally driven like you are.
Even if I find a smallest spark in somebody else, I would
Yes.
go all out to help that person around. But at least I need to see that spark. That
Yes.
that motivation has to come from within. That you have to do something.
Yes, yes. I so agree with you on that. So,
Yeah,
Shruti, this was fantastic. But before we end the podcast, I have to tell my listeners
yeah.
that Shruti has been conferred with several awards and honors, including awards like the Marathawada Women's Achiever
Yes,
Award.
Marathwada is the is a specific area in Maharashtra, which is Aurangabad, Latur, all these areas. Different areas.
It was felicitated by Sri Anna Hazare in
Yes,
2011.
yes.
SDP Iconic International Women's Achievers Award 2021.
SDP is a organization's name, and the award is the International Iconic Women's Award. It's IWA. SDP is the organization's name, which is for the actors and I wouldn't say the actors, but yeah, but the supporting actors and all those people that made this organization in Mumbai, and they try and felicitate women who are trying to do good in the society, who've done something different.
You also have been conferred with the Maharashtra Women's Achievers Award 2021 and so many more. And thank you so much for being on today's podcast. It really was my honor. And what I'm going to leave the listeners with that, as Shruti Chauhan says, that let's question the common intelligence, because without that, change can't happen. Thank you so much, Shruti,
Very
for being on today's episode.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mawa. It was nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. To you, our dearest listeners, you can find us on your favorite streaming services. Find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and of course, all other major streaming services. With loads of love, we are Moody Mo Awaz Podcast, where Hatke is hot.